Hello, 7th graders. Before we begin today's lesson on solving two-step equations, I would like to remind you of a couple vocab words we've had this year that are going to play a huge part in what we're learning today. So first, we have a variable. Remember, a variable is a letter representing an unknown quantity. So this might be like 2x. If I had the expression 2x plus 5, x would be my variable. X is a letter, it's representing an unknown number. Okay, next is inverse operations. These are operations that undo each other. So addition and subtraction are inverse operations. I could say 2 plus 4 is 6. If I wanted to undo that, 6 minus 4 is 2. Those are the inverse of each other. Likewise, multiplication and division. So 2 times 4 is 8. The inverse of that would be 8 divided by 4 is 2. Multiplication and division are inverse operations. And then lastly, the order of operations, or PEMDAs, just the order in which we solve things. We got parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So reminder, multiplication and division we do at the same time left to right, and addition and subtraction we do at the same time left to right. All right, let's get into it. Our first example is 2x plus 7 equals 25. All right, so when I'm solving two-step equations, the goal is always to get the variable by itself. So I see x in this equation, I want to get x by itself. To get x by itself, I have to get rid of this 2 and this 7. When I get rid of the 2 and 7, I'm going to do PEMDAs backwards. So I'm going to undo addition and subtraction first, then I'll undo multiplication and division, and then I'll undo any exponents and then parentheses. So the first thing I have to do is get rid of this 7. The inverse operation of addition is subtraction. So to get rid of 7, I'm going to subtract 7. Now note this third point is to balance the equation. So that means what I do to the left side, I have to do to the right side as well. So what I did here, I have to do here as well. All right, so we're going to subtract 7. These cancel out. Now I have 2x. I got rid of the 7. 25 minus 7 is 18. So now I have 2 times x equals 18. Now from here, a lot of you can probably solve, I know 9 times 2 is 18. We're still going to do it the inverse operation way. So to undo multiplication, I'm going to divide by 2. What I do to the left, I have to do to the right. Now the 2's are gone, and I have x equals 18 divided by 2 is 9. And there we go. We solved a two-step equation. All right, the second example is 4x minus 3 equals 21. So again, I want to get x by itself, meaning I have to get rid of the 4 and the 3. 4 is being multiplied, the 3 is being subtracted. I want to get rid of addition and subtraction first. So we're going to undo this minus 3. To undo subtraction, I need to add. So we're going to add 3. I got to add 3 to this side too. Get rid of this. I got 4x equals 21 plus 3 is 24. Now, another way to think of this might be if I see 4x minus 3 equals 21, that means 4 times x minus 3 equals 21. So something minus 3 is 21. I know 24 minus 3 is 21. So I know that 4x has to be equal to 24. All right, and then to get rid of the 4, I need to divide. 24 divided by 4 is 6. So x equals 6. We can always check these by plugging it back in as well. So if I checked x equals 6, I plug in 6 for x, or I substitute 6 for x. I would say, okay, 4 times 6 is 24 minus 3. Yep, that's 21. We're good. All right, I would like you guys to pause the video and see if you can solve all 4 of these problems at the bottom. Yes, there are some negatives there. Try your best. Then you will play the video back and see if you got them right. All right, so number 1 says 2x plus 5 is 11. First I would minus 5, so I get 2x is 6. Then we divide by 2, and x is 3. If we plug that back in, 2 times 3 is 6 plus 5 is 11. Yep, we're good. On the third one here, we're going to add 3. So then I have 2a. Let's see, negative 5 plus 3 gets closer to 0. That would be negative 2. Make sure you did negative 2 and not negative 8. All right, so then we divide by 2, and a equals negative 1. All right, so over on this side, we got 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 divided by 3 is 3. And over here, we got negative 2 minus 2, which is negative 4. It goes more negative. And then when we divide by negative 4, we get y equals 1. All right, make sure you got all 4 of those down as well. All right, here's some more two-step equations. We're throwing some division at you. We're still going to undo addition and subtraction first. So I see in this example 3, the first thing I want to get rid of is the 6. To undo addition, we subtract. So I have 18 minus 6, which is 12. And then I have x divided by 2 equals 12. So now I'm thinking, what divided by 2 is 12? To figure that out, we use the inverse of division, which is multiplication. 12 times 2 is 24. So x is 24. All right, and then the next example, we have some parentheses here. If we're thinking PEMDAS backwards, parentheses are actually what we're going to do last. So here I have to undo this division first. So I'm going to undo the divide by 2 by multiplying by 2. So then I have x minus 5 equals 3 times 2 is 6. Now that the parentheses are by themselves, I can drop the parentheses and just have x minus 5, because this equation would be the same if there were parentheses there. Same thing. All right, so now we undo subtraction with addition, and 6 plus 5 is 11. X equals 11. All right, guys, pause the video again and see if you can solve these 2 problems at the bottom, and then play it back to see if you got it right. All right, a divided by 7 plus 2 is 4. We're going to minus 2. So I have a divided by 7 is 2. And then we undo the 7 by multiplying. So we get a equals 14. Okay, and the one over here. Again, there's parentheses. We're going to multiply by 3 first. So then I have x plus 5 equals 15 times 3 is 45. Make sure you multiplied there instead of dividing. And then we subtract 5. So x equals 40. All right, let's try a word problem. A dog sled driver added more gear to the sled, doubling its weight. This felt too heavy, so the driver removed 20 pounds to reach the final weight of 180 pounds. Write and solve an equation to find the sled's original weight. All right, so we know when we do word problems, the first thing we need to think is, what is it asking? This problem says, write and solve an equation to find the sled's original weight. So I want to find the original weight. What was the weight before he doubled it, took away 20, had the final weight of 180? So we're going to read back through the problem and see what our important information is. So the dog sled driver added more gear to the sled. It doubled its weight. So we have the original weight doubled. Then it was too heavy, so he removed 20 pounds. It had a final weight of 180. We're going to use W to represent its original weight. We said the first thing he did was double it, so that's 2W. And then he removed 20 pounds. Remove is probably subtraction. And then the final weight, so equals 180. All right, we wrote an equation. Now we have to solve it. The first thing we're going to undo is that subtraction. So we're going to add 20. And then we have 2w equals 200. And then we're going to divide by 2. So the original weight was 100 pounds. All right, see if you can do these two word problems at the bottom. You are also going to write an equation and solve it. All right, the Wilsons have triplets and another child who is 10 years old. The sum of the ages is 37. How old are the triplets? Well, triplets means 3 kids, so we have 3 kids that are the same age, and then 1 who is 10. So 3 times the age of the triplets plus 10 equals 37. All right, so then to solve this, you would subtract 10, getting 3a is 27, and then divide by 3. So the age of the triplets is 9 years old. All right, and this last one says 5 less than the quotient of a number and 4 is 15. So we got a number divided by 4, and then 5 less, so minus 5 is 15. What is the number? First, we would add 5 to get n divided by 4 is 20. Then we would multiply by 4, so that number was 80. All right, I know these are in our notes PDF, but we're actually going to skip this whole page. And your assignment today is going to be numbers 6 through 17. So no word problems for your assignment. You are just doing two-step equations. Remember, you're doing PEMDAS backwards, and you're solving for the variable. So undo the operations to get the variable by itself. We will check these when I return tomorrow.